why don't you take them a commission? And just say, you know, your construction, since it's not in there, and just put the name of the builder and put your name. And it might have, hey, yeah, I would, if their contract doesn't specify it, which it doesn't. How'd you find out that they did the 2.5? Now, here's the problem. What thing is this? You have a property. Okay, what I would do is I would put the community name instead of the property address. You know,
Mary.
Hey, Rusty. How's everything going?
Full office put in this week now.
And nothing?
Still waiting.
The biggest advice I can say is putting backup offers, because a lot of them have been like, they're like backing out like that, and then nobody has backup offers, so they're putting back in the market.
Actually talked to months and
I know. I mean, if they really love the house and really want one, doesn't matter.
I'm so proud.
Once they turn around.
she was still gonna buy that house.
Well, the people, I don't know the area that's out there. But the house, the last time that somebody go look at it, the roof was essentially, you have to always have an all done. So,
Hey guys.
she was talking about, you know, there's a bottom line and
What's up, Donnie? I must be living right.
good about
That's we are so much.
and if it's not a great cost estimate.
Right.
So that's what we always get back to.
Unless they come down to this weekend. Hey, baby. How are you?
I'm coming along.
Yeah, text me, if you have it just random, at least, one Saturday, just text me. I'll let you know if I.
Yeah, introduce yourself, please.
Well, yeah.
No,
Hi, I'm Carrie. It's a great eat your schmear. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Good morning.
To be here.
I love a schmear. Good morning. I'm Carrie. Rusty, so nice to meet you. It's good to
So you're brand new agent or just new here? Brand new agent. So what?
Family was this bank.
Okay, so you like brand new. I can still see the shine. Yeah, what you see?
I'm gonna tell you. I'll provide you.
That's a good translation.
I'll be doing both.
Every Tuesday at 9:30.
So you don't sound like that.
I'm Haley. I work for the Lift
There's so many people.
I like it. One off the phone.
But I'm still gonna have to.
Always.
I mean, my husband.
I'm nice to everybody.
On your way.
How much? Yeah. Are you new here? Are you? Yes. Are you?
I know.
You'll get. It's a lot of work, but medical. My dad's helped an ambulance company prior to just finding out gas station.
Good morning, everybody. Look who's here, Toddy. We got a celebrity in the house. I thought I met you yesterday. Hi guys, good morning everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm running a little bit late. We were downstairs having a very important meeting. Anyway, good morning everybody. Somebody give me some good news. And I'm going to start with the good news, okay? So if you're friends with Anya Sherzinska on Facebook, anybody friends with her? You should be following her right now. She is this morning driving to the border of Poland to Ukraine to rescue 6 people and bring them back and put them in housing right now. Wow. That's like amazing to me that she's willing to do that. And a lot of people paying with her own money, somebody that we helped to raise, guys. But if you're not following on, you should be following her because what she's doing, she rescued a family of mom and her 3 boys, and they're moving to, I think she said, to Italy. Anyway, guys, so just Anya's amazing. So let's give Anya a big hand. Anya's amazing. Anyway, guys, so that made me smile when someone's actually doing that. It's one thing to write the check for, it's another thing to go there. Who would go if you go with Anya and go to the border and help the Spanish people? Don't hold your hand up. You would go, would you really? Good, God bless you. I don't know how we think about it. I think about it. So anyway, guys, God bless you, Anya. Other good news this morning. Yes, ma'am.
This weekend at the Atlanta board, I feel like a lot of our people were recognized, and that was amazing.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I made a little bit of a mistake on Saturday night. What the mistake was? Huh? I thought, we haven't had one of these things in a long time. I mean, I looked fabulous what I was wearing. But
Obviously.
but everybody else was in a tuxedo pretty much but me. I went, but you think I stayed anyway? Yes, of course I did.
It's better overdressing.
What did you say, baby?
It's better overdressing.
Exactly right, yeah. Anyway, guys, but it was a wonderful night. The party was well done. The week before, we were at the cardboard one, which was fabulous also. And the cardboard was the way I thought everybody would be at the Atlanta board. That was just sort of some people not dress up, some people had a coat and tie on, but nobody had a tuxedo on. So anyway, guys, it was still a fun event. I love being there. Thanks for coming that night. We had a little bit of a pickup with her ticket.
It's all good. I bought one to the commercial one and then just showed up at the regular one. That's fine. I clicked on the wrong button. I was the person that I make fun of. I'm like, just read it. It's right there.
But I will tell you, people clean up nicely for that. Isn't that true? It's true. People buy dresses for that. Which is cool, right? Other good news. Michelle, you have some good news, don't you?
I do.
Tell us your good news.
We buy our beach house tomorrow. Money's there, we're not, but money's there, so we're waiting.
Team meeting there next week?
Well, there's a mastermind in Savannah later. Anybody that wants to go, I'll house you.
Wait, but just one of your mattress though.
Well, yeah, there's.
Bring your own bed.
Right.
Don't only offer if you're serious.
Yeah.
Don't just say it.
No, I'm serious. I get a bed, they get a blow-up mattress.
Slumber party.
And I'd like to introduce Carrie. Carrie, stand up and say,
Welcome! Yay! Welcome.
You gotta introduce
Oh,
yourself.
hi, I'm Harry Williams. Nice to meet you. Last name's convenient. And I'm super excited to be here. Yes, I'm newly licensed and I know nothing, but I'm going to know something soon. And I'm so thrilled to be with Keller Williams. I did talk to a couple of other brokers, but you know, I've known about Keller Williams for a long time in my area and just growing up with it. And I feel like everybody knows Keller Williams. So that was my top pick, and I'm just thrilled to be here and fell in love with Michelle. And so we'll see how it goes, right? It was nice to meet you.
Yay.
So, in Business Chronicle, the top 2, 3 companies, okay? And closed sales for 2021. Number 3 was Atlanta Fine Homes. And they closed, if I remember right, 4.5 billion in sales. Okay? Who do you think number 2 was?
Bensley.
Part of Atlanta Group. This is companies, it's all of Keller Williams, it's all of Berkshire Hathaway, it's all of Caldwell Banker.
Berkshire Hathaway?
Berkshire Hathaway, very good. To be HHS. They were 5.1 billion. Of course, who do you think number 1 was?
Obvious.
Keller Williams. All right, so number 3 was 4.5, number 2 was 5.1. What do you think number 1 was?
12.
How much? 12 billion? Okay. 12 billion, what do you say? 13. 13 billion, okay, you want to see it?
Yeah.
Wow.
22.3 billion.
Wow. Okay.
22.3 billion, guys.
Wow. Wow.
We did more, probably in the top 5 or 7 did.
And this is all of Keller Williams, y'all.
It's all Keller Williams. Probably, I apologize. It's all Keller Williams in Metro Atlanta. Of course, now they say, well, Jim, y'all have more agents. I go, that's true, we do. And we said, well, anyway, guys, I was very proud to see this. And for Keller Williams, we finished in the city of top 25 offices, number 4. Let's have a drink for that. Number 3 was Peach Road office. They have a 458, I think what it was. 450 from there. We actually closed more units than they did, but they closed more volume than we did. So we actually closed more units than they did. Number 2 was Mark Spain, I think. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yep.
And number 1 was yes, Jenny Cruz, the big office. That's the right, Joe. So congratulations to everybody, guys. But number 4 in the city is not bad, is it?
No.
So guys, give yourself a hand for that. Yay! All right, guys. Anybody have anything else they want to share that's good? Anybody going once, going twice?
I got to close the deal with Chris and Jen yesterday.
Yay! Yay!
That was fun.
Cutest picture ever.
All right, it is great. Well, tell us, introduce her.
Well, I'm Jenna Madera. I'm a new agent here.
Yay, Jenna, welcome, yay! Yay! Anybody else, guys? Let us move on, guys, okay? Tell us something good to our partners. Come on up here, partner.
I'm laughing at our friend Liz Cohen. Makes me laugh.
Liz, behave.
Behave, girl. We're in the back. Back row Baptist back there, right? Good morning, guys. I'm Carrie with Thomas and Brown. Great to see y'all. We have a couple of classes coming up. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, we have closings with Theory. We're just going to walk through our closing process. Be sure and RSVP. I've gotten a lot of RSVPs. We do have some spots left, though, obviously. This room is a good size. So we're going to talk about just what happens when you send us your contract. We'll go over title exams, powers of attorney, mail outs. We're going to look at the buyer and seller info sheets. That way you guys know, what we're sending out to your clients. So if they ask me a question, you already know the answer. And then we have another one in April the 19th. It's going to be a CE class from 1 to 4, and it's called Matters of Madness. So it's basically any madness thing that can, make you crazy during a closing. We talked about probates, estates. What else did I put on here? Divorce liens. We talk about title insurance and all other types of title issues that can come up, and we'll kind of walk you through that. So we're going to do a CE class. It's going to be at Galleria. And then we're gonna have happy hour following that, at Cinco up on their rooftop, so it should be a lot of fun. So y'all feel free to invite a friend. And just so y'all know, if you've been to our gallery office, we're in the 400 building. This class is actually in the 200 building, but I'll send you all that. I know. You're confusing everybody, right? Next one on the 19th. That's the 19th. Yeah. So once you RSVP, I'll send you super detailed info. It's very easy to find. I just didn't want anybody to show up at our office and be like, "Where's the class?"
Directions to the rooftop.
To the rooftop. Most importantly, the rooftop, right? And hopefully it's a nice day and we can just walk across the street because it's right across the road. So those are the two classes coming up, and then I have some flyers. I was handing them out earlier, and then it was time to start about title insurance that we talked about. So I do have them in English and Spanish, just sort of going over the benefits of title insurance. It's a great thing to put in any buyer folders, in my opinion, or really anything with your clients. So if you would like one, I have these, and I can walk around here in just a little bit and get the thing yet.
Thank you, Karen. Can't make it any better. Thank you very much. All right, now we have negotiate.
Okay, so, hey.
Are you gonna negotiate something?
I am gonna negotiate. No, this is actually another CE class that Thomas and Brown, Cheryl King is going to teach, and we are sponsoring lunch for this one. And this is April 12th, same day.
It's the 19th.
See, I pay attention to details a little bit. So that's why I'm gonna talk in generalities and Danielle's gonna talk about specifics. But anyway, you guys will get an invite to this. It's on negotiation. I think that'd be a great thing for you guys to be able to attend. So
I'm so sorry. I totally didn't even forgot that we put that one up there.
here's some good news. You want good news? I'll back up the good news.
Yeah.
The interest rates here, even though we're getting close to 5%, are so much better than they are in, shall we say, Argentina, where they're about 42%. So be grateful for what you got, right? And interest rates are going up. It's so funny because I found some notes from an off-site managers meeting that we had in October of 2020, and we had Fannie Mae's projections for what interest rates were going to be over the next couple of years, and they were so far off. So now we're getting close to 5. It's not quite at 5% yet, but you're looking at 4.75 probably without points, something like that for your clients. I think that there's this is why that buyer consultation is so important, to let them go ahead and get that initial sticker shock to work through it, so that when they go out, they know for real what they're going to be looking at. And of course, our effort is to say the same things to your clients that you're going to say about the market, about affordability, about what the projections are for the next couple of years. Because I mean, you know, when you go out and you've been used to hearing interest rates in the low 3s, and you find out they're in the high 4s, well, I'm just going to wait. Well, there's a script for that, and I hope you guys know it. So work on your scripts. You're going to have scripts one way or the other. The question is, I think, will be good ones or bad ones, because you will end up saying the same thing to the next client that you said to this one, unless the client gets really mad, then you won't use that one again. Right? Okay. So interest rates are up. We're praying that they leveled out. Looks like maybe today they're going to level out a little bit. They did yesterday. Haven't gone up the last couple of days, which is great. But we have a shiny new product that Danielle's going to tell you guys about. That at first I thought ho-hum sounds like another gimmick until I actually dug into the details, and it really looks like something that will be helpful.
Yeah, it's called our Wealth Builder program. It's a zero down payment program for shorter term financing. So the idea is that you have a lower interest rate, and you build shorter term, and you can build equity faster. We have no PMI options that we can build in there, or low PMI. It's really great. If you guys want more information on it, we have some ARMs. It's 15 or 20-year fixed, and then there's some ARMs that we could set up. And Reed and I were actually talking about setting up some examples so we can send it out to you all, and you can see how that looks on paper.
Did y'all notice the first thing that she said about that program?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah. You can either say, depends on how you can either say 0 down or 100% financing, whichever way you want to say it, because it's the same thing. It is that. And obviously it's going to be a well-qualified client, but it's not as bad as you think. I mean, it isn't like, you know, the total squeaky clean. Somebody with a 700 can get this program. So we're going to be working through some scenarios ourselves over the next couple of days. We're going to send out some information to y'all. But so basically 100% financing, it's on a 20 or 15-year amortization, but a 5-year arm on the, and so I think that it's something that it's going to benefit a lot of clients. They're not going to have to put money down. And if you look at where they'd be 5 years from now, it's going to be, they're going to have more equity than they would had they done like a 97% conventional or something like that. So we'll be looking at some of that stuff and
Investors, yes or no?
no,
And you can go up to $975,000.
970.
Which is
Yeah.
really, and it's for clients that are 680 and above.
Yep. So it's gonna be something to really look at. If they've got room in their budget to pay a little bit higher payment because of the 15 or 20-year amortization, it's gonna make a lot of sense. So, thank you guys.
So we're really excited.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Okay, thank you all so much. Give my hand, you all. Well done. Are you gonna sit in the back and just be a pretty face?
Yeah, look, Keith just figures he wants to sit back there. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
All right, we got past St. Patty's Day and Leprechaun, right? It took me a minute to catch on what she was doing. She's running around everywhere, right? It was awesome. So my name is Donnie Williams. I'm with All Atlanta Amerispec. We're your home inspection partners. Good to see everybody being here and everybody being back in the office. Dottie, it's awesome to see you. I haven't seen you forever. I know we talk all the time on the phone. Everybody give Dottie a round of applause. She's one of my all-time favorite people in this whole wide world. So I'm glad to see you.
I thought you told me I was.
One of them, right? All right. There's a handful of y'all. Right? You are too. But guys, spring is sprung, right? It's going to be 80 degrees out here today. It's going to be awesome. So we're going in between the seasons of being cold and hot, and Georgia weather is bipolar anyway, right? So I'm going to pull over now. I'll be taking it off as soon as I get out of here. But the spring season, we're getting busy. We're here for you, and we have the luxury to pass to y'all that y'all don't worry about due diligences. When you get your buyers in the contracts, you worry about winning the contract. You call us, we're going to get that inspection done for you, right? No questions asked. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. We will make it happen. We're fully staffed. We have 20 inspectors. We're ASHI certified, code certified. Any type of inspection you're going to need, we're going to be here for you. Whether it's ancillary, and with the new people, we'll talk. And we got some good training classes coming up. We're going to teach another CE class here coming up pretty soon. We'll get all that scheduled for you. But we do have a couple of new CE classes also I want to talk about. Anybody selling any new construction homes right now? Right? Those houses are perfect, aren't they? Right?
Oh man, we don't need you, Donnie.
I know, it's a new construction. What's wrong with it? It passed the county codes, right? We do these air quotes for that, right?
Think about the county inspectors speeding up their inspections?
Yeah, they got just as much to do as everybody else, right? So they're gonna rush through those things so they can get home and watch American Idol, right? So
My favorite line on new construction is, well, I trust the builder, he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right. So we had a toilet in the hallway the other day. Awesome. Right? Not in the half bath, or water closet, right? It's in the hallway. So don't trust those guys. We are certified and here to protect our clients, right? No matter how tough the negotiations is, we still need to know what we're buying. We need to know that these systems are functioning and what the conditions are, okay? So make sure you give us a call. Let us represent you. I promise you it's an honor and a privilege for us to serve you. We're a serving company. And so we want to make sure that we assist any of y'all that we can. And if you give us a call, we're going to make it happen no matter what. So we're going to get busy here in the next few months. Y'all get these things listed. Y'all get these things bought. And we'll take care of all the inspections that you need, guys. So thank y'all for everything. I love you guys. And this is home for me for I don't know how many years, right? I know I look young. Right? Right. So it's been a few years since we were in, right? But anyway, we're here for you guys. If I can ever do anything for you, please give me a call. Thank you, sir, for your time, and let's go out there and win some bids, right? Let's get them done.
Thank you, Don.
So thank you.
Y4C2 cheese. Dottie, which is your favorite Y4C2 cheese? Which one's your favorite one?
Boy, it's tough to pick my favorite one, but I think it's win-win. That really says it all. If it's not good for everybody, it's not good for anybody.
Could she have said any better, you all?
No.
Win-win or what?
No deal.
No deal at all, guys. Every time you have somebody who thinks, well, I'm gonna beat that agent into submission, you think, well, next time I get your client, I'm gonna go, beep, beep, just cross you off, guys. So, guys, I love the win-win-win, Dottie. So you picked one of my favorite ones also. Thank you so much for that. Real estate conversation lead gens on Monday and Wednesday. You all know that our range here every week, Monday and Wednesday, 8:30. Come and do some great conversations. You know how to answer that tough question next time it's asked. Come on. Closing 101, talk about Carrie Grimby. We've already talked about that. That's coming up on March the 30th, 11 to 12. Please come to that for group coaching. Jeopardy, Contract Jeopardy on April the 6th for 11. Who knows about that? Hosted by Michelle Byers.
Okay.
Okay.
Michelle, hey, I can't tell us about that. And that's
April the 4th, so come and learn law with Michelle.
We'll talk
This
about
is a
it.
great class. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Good job, Kimberly.
Man
Good
Happy
job.
Hour, our mastermind, hosted by Kevin Jackson. Guys, this is a great place you get in and say, okay, what can Command do for me? And guys, he will spend pretty much one-on-one time with you, telling you how to get started, or if you're stuck someplace, he'll do that for you also. So we love Kevin. Thank you for doing April 7th, 5 to 6. Another one, lead me with social media ads. He also knows how to do this and do it well. He's going to teach it, and it's the lead gen room, and it is on April the 6th at 11 to 12. So guys, please join them there also. If you don't know how to do social media ads. Homework. Do a tough market. Give your clients the cash. Homework, guys. We're going to talk more about this. There's going to be some training. Homework is here. It's Tim Hiles' group, and they will help you get the cash you need to get that client the house that they want. Stay tuned, right? Stay tuned. Rob Daniels, guys. God, we offer so much training here. It keeps me jumping on what's going on. But Rob Daniels is a master coach. He's incredible, and he's going to be doing part 1 of his Raw Group exclusive virtual masterclass series. And registration is required. Friday, April the 8th, 9 to 10. Reach out to one of us if you need more details. 9 ways the millionaire real estate agent thinks. Here's how they think. So, guys, you should know how a millionaire agent thinks. Bold. Now, guys, I'm going to take just a moment for this, okay, guys? Bold's coming up on Thursday morning. It's free to go to First Step of Bold. I don't know why our whole office is not going, because even if you go there and you don't sign up, you get an incredible coach, Mark, who's going to be there, and he's going to help you understand how you can do more business. In the first course, of guys, if you've not signed up for that, see one of us will sign you up. Whether your first day in the business, second day in the business, or like me, 38 years, you will come away with a lot of good stuff from Bold. Guys, please do that. It's a business objective and a life by design. All right.
Oh, we've got that crazy slide again.
Okay, we do.
What this means, be your own boss, is goes along with career night. It also is K-score. How many of you, just show your hands, know what K-score is? Okay. Oh, I know Michael. Anyway, K-score stands for Keller School of Real Estate. We're doing it with Kaplan. We are giving scholarships to take pre-licensing at no cost. If you've got somebody that's interested in real estate, please send me their name, their email address, and their telephone number, and I will invite them to career night. That is the first step of doing the K-score. Then they do KW Prep, which is 17 modules about getting into real estate, and then K-score. It is a fabulous program, and right now we've got about 52 people going through the class. I will keep up with you and let you know how your client is, or your possible downline, I guess, is doing. And so far we've had 3 graduates. Michael got one of them, so for your program. So anyway, it's a great program, and I hope you'll take advantage of it, because I'd love to help you build your downline, and this is a great way to attract talent.
And Michelle, thank you for doing that. It's doing a lot of things for our office and for the agents here. So thank you for doing that. Okay, we're going to pause for a minute, and I'm going to bring Michael Cheever up. Michael, I know you're on a tight schedule. Michael, get on the hot seat there, and Michelle will come back to you, I promise you.
Sure.
So guys, a couple times this week, people have called me and they'll go, Jim, I said, what? Jim, how's the market? How's the market with us? Jim, I heard that the usage was down 8%. I went, really? Okay, we're not seeing that. Our usage is down about 30% from last time this year. But guess what is up? Closed units. Closed units is their volume also. Closed units are up about 17%. So I was talking to Michael about this yesterday. I said, well, Michael, you're out there, you're working with the new program, which we're going to talk about a little bit also. Michael, from your purview, and this guy thinks like a Georgia Tech graduate, are you seeing the market to basically be dead on arrival? We're not selling any more houses. What are you seeing out there, Michael? Share with us.
We have an imbalanced market. Everybody knows that. So anytime there's imbalance, there's fear, right? So when it's balanced, it feels safe, right? When it's imbalanced, right, there's potential for you to be afraid of it, right? And there's misperceptions about all things, right? And particularly when there's imbalance, there's a greater number of misperceptions, right? So in reality, are there fewer homes listed year to date, right? In the slowest period of the listing time, right? So, you know, December, January, February, always the lowest amount of listings. You can go in and just look at FMLS, it'll show you the listing volume for the last 3 years, always the lowest amount of listing volume. So is there a little bit less volume now than there was in previous year, last year, or the year before? Yes. Right? However, more homes are selling, right? Okay. And y'all, as far as imbalance, so how many people were in the market in 2008, 9, 10? It was another imbalanced market, okay? So if you had to pick between which imbalanced market you want to be in, which one do you want to be in?
This one, please.
Okay. And what we also know is when things reach an extreme point of imbalance, where are we headed? We're headed for correction. We're heading back toward balance, right? Okay. All right. So how long will it take to get there, and what does that look like? Who knows, right? I'm just going to number one encourage everybody. Right? There's more homes selling. They're about the same amount of homes that sold for the past 3 years in a row. Okay. So there's just as much business out there. Over the course of the last year, does anybody know how many people have moved to Metro Atlanta?
Love to know.
What?
Would love to know.
300,000. Okay. All right. So Atlanta's forecasted growth moving forward is to reach and to become one of the top 5 metropolitan areas in the entire country. Okay. All right. And so while the market's just crazy, it's insane. No, it's not. It's people buying and selling houses, right? Okay. Now, what do you have to do to go out and win in this market, right? Okay. Right. That's the conversations that you need to be having with your clients so that you can find out, number one, so that you can communicate what that is. Number two, find out who are the people who are willing to go and compete in this market. And those are the people that you spend your time and energy with, right? The people who aren't, you don't forget them, you don't ignore them, you educate, you resource them, you continue communication with them until they become ready, willing, and able, right? Okay. All right, so you're the professional in this mix. If you're saying it's crazy and you're saying it's insane, right? Then switch industries, right? If you want to. I don't want to sound callous or something like this, but y'all, if you're in this business, you should be making more money than you've ever made before. And if you don't, there's plenty of resources here to help you do that, right? But all of this, you know, all this and all this and all this and all this, I would just encourage everyone not to buy into that in any way, right? There's more opportunity. Interest rates. Oh, interest rates are going up. Yeah, cool. Hey, they had to, right? Okay, so who is going to stop interest rates from going too high? Who? Why? Jim's right.
What do you say?
Federal Reserve.
Federal Reserve.
Control the economy.
Control the economy, so that's one part.
Slow it down some.
Alright, so they wanna slow down what they consider to be an overheated economy.
Right.
Y'all, 3.7% unemployment. I challenge you that there's that many people who should not be employed, right? Okay, alright. So let's dive into why.
Might be higher than that, but go ahead.
So why is the Fed not gonna allow interest rates to go too high? Fundamental.
Don't wanna shut down the economy.
What's that?
Don't wanna shut down the economy.
They don't wanna shut down the economy, but who puts the Fed chairman in place?
President, there's
Government, right?
There's
Government.
many different levers to.
Alright, cool. And why would the government not want interest rates other than economy? Why would a government fundamentally, when you think about your bills and when you think about what you're paying, why do you want lower interest on any,
Borrowing costs for the government.
Borrowing costs for the government, right? So who's the largest debt holder on the planet?
Oh, God.
We are.
Yeah.
Right? And so if that rate goes too high, who defaults? Right? So y'all just know they're not gonna send rates too crazy, right? Because they're paying debt, right, based off of that interest rate, okay, right? So yeah, they're gonna raise rates some and that kind of thing, fine, right? But they're not gonna let rates go too crazy. They have to go up from where they were, right? We all knew that, right? So, you know, rates at 5%, rates at 5.5%, rates at 6%, right? On a 30-year fixed conventional mortgage. So what are some things that you should start talking to your clients about in a rising rate environment?
Affordability.
Okay, yeah. Does anybody remember this thing called an ARM?
Yes.
This morning.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I stepped out for a minute. The ARM, right? 3, 5, 7, 10-year ARM, right? Okay, right? There's now a spread on that.
So the people that don't want ARM, you may wanna tell them what an ARM is.
So adjustable rate mortgage. So if it's a 3-1, right, that means it's fixed for 3 years and then every 1 year after that it adjusts. However, they have caps on what it can adjust to, right? Okay. So it can adjust to only a certain amount in 1 year, and then I think it has a max over the life of loan that it can adjust to. So if somebody locks in right now into a 5%, right? Well, not an ARM. It was, y'all, is there about a 2-point spread? 1.75, 2-point spread on an ARM? So if a 30-year fixed conventional mortgage is 5%, that means you get an ARM in the low 3s, which is, everybody was tickled pink about the low 3s, even, you know, over the last 3 years when we were in ridiculous, and I'll say it, ridiculous low interest rates, right? Okay, right? And so you can still get that rate and you can have it for 5 to 7 years, all right? And so then if it were to adjust, I think there's typically like a 4 or 5 point cap on what they can adjust to. One of y'all experts on me? 5. So if they lock in at 3.25, the max over the life of that loan as it adjusts would be 8.25, right? Okay.
And will it adjust to market, or is there like a kicker?
It does, yeah. It typically goes off of
index and a margin.
Yeah, so they'll have some
it's
index.
So at the end of that 7 years, you would just be paying what the market's.
No, the 7 years is fixed. So okay, so 7-1 ARM, right? So it's a 3-1 ARM, a 5-1 ARM, a 7-year ARM, a 10-year ARM. So for that 3, 5, 7, or 10, right? And listen, the lower that you go in number of years, the larger the spread there typically is between that and whatever the par rate is. Okay. But so for that 3, 5, 7, or 10 year on the front end, we would call it a 10-1 or a 7-1 ARM. For that front end number, it's locked for that period of time. The interest rate is locked. And then it adjusts so they have a 6-month or a 1 year adjust rate, right? And so, adjust period. So then after that, every 6 months or every 1 year, it can adjust. And it can adjust by a maximum of a certain amount, right, per adjustment period, with a maximum amount total for the life of the loan that it can actually adjust, right? How many people stay in a mortgage for over 7 years? I mean, you guys tell me. I mean, is it 20% or less?
Yeah, the average life of a loan is less than 7 years.
Yeah. So every market presents opportunities, right? We are the professionals, and we just have to find out what those opportunities are and educate our clients, and then get them to their goals, right? Any obstacle, any objection, any problem that's brought up, I promise you there is a solution. I promise you it already exists, right? Okay. So we talk about prop tech, fintech, all these things that are coming in the industry. How many of them are new? All right. So let's start with some, right? So Zillow, search, is that new? It's just a different way of doing it. I heard this morning that there's all these people pissed off because coming soons are now going to be available on portals, right? Oh,
Meaning to the public.
yeah. To our clients, to the consumer, right? Okay, so I don't know if we're talking about, does anybody know what a pocket listing is? Where it came from, right? But do you know where it came from? Pocket listing. Y'all, it's people who walked around with a list in their pocket. People who were willing to sell a home, right? And they kept it in their pocket. Wanna know why?
They had their clients ready. Oh, that.
So, yeah, they had their clients. Why else?
That's all we had, technology-wise.
Okay, but why else were they keeping it in their pocket? Just
It keeps them
For
for themselves.
themselves.
they kept it for themselves. Is that in the best interest of their client?
No.
No, it's not in the best interest of their client. Closed listing services. How many people have tried to sell something on Oconee or Blue Ridge?
Oh, gosh.
How convenient is that for us as professionals to bring home buyers who want to pay top market to those markets, and they want to increase the value of the homes, and they want to bring more buyers into that market to help the sellers in that market? How friendly, how consumer friendly is that for us? And how professional friendly is that for us? Not very. Not very at all, right? And so what we're saying is, oh, we don't want the consumer to know about it. It's not a consumer, it's a human being, just like me and you. Now, statistically, what's happened? So this feeling is a similar feeling that a lot of the market had when search became available to buyers and sellers, right? When the information, the data that was closely guarded and locked down and restricted from the public was made available to the consumer. Same thing, right? Okay, right? And there was a lot of fear in the agent community. Why? We're gonna lose control. They're not gonna want us. They're not gonna need us anymore. Okay. So I had a .com in the late '90s. Okay. All right. And there was two companies that were putting medical data online. Right. One of them was called Dr. Coop, and one of them was called WebMD. You've probably heard of it, right? Who was pissed off at WebMD?
Doctors.
Doctors. Why?
Whoa,
Whoa, this is our information. We can't let the consumer know about this. Right? What's happened to the medical community since then?
Blown up because people have
It's exploded because people go online and they're like, they have a little itch here, and all of a sudden they think they're going to have their arm amputated, they're racing to the doctor. So our consumers are now finding all this data and information, and they're going, I need a what? I need a realtor. I need a professional, right? Being pissed off because somebody's gonna find out early about a house that's coming onto the market so that they can get in touch with their agent who can hopefully get them in, right, before the thing goes under contract. Bring that on, right? Y'all, mindset, right? Y'all open it up, right? Get a bigger pie mindset, right? We talked about the Keller Williams wife 246. My favorite thing about Keller Williams, bigger pie, right? Bigger pie. Let's make this pie as big as we can so as many people can eat as possible. I'm from a big family. Don't want a bigger pie, right? But yeah, just this whole thing is a mindset conversation with yourself that you're then either winning and you're sharing that with your clients, or you're losing and you're sharing that with your clients. And nobody wants to be around wah.
Don't.
Right?
Guys, homes more affordable now or 10 or 15 years ago? No. Really? Why do you say that?
Still.
Why do you say that, Rusty?
I still say from an interest rate perspective. I mean, interest
Why
rates
would
are
you say that?
Well, homes are more affordable now than they were in 2006. Like 2006, the affordability factor was like 37, now it's like 30. So
Because you're
people are
making more money. Making more money. They have lower interest rates. So guys, it's actually cheaper to buy a house right now than it was, even though a lot more expensive, than it was in 2006, guys. Derek Keller pointed that out. So if my mindset right now, guys, is it harder to get your buyers a house right now? Is it harder?
Yes.
You say it's not, I wanna talk to you, because
Yes.
you have the mojo that I don't have. You know, I wanna know about it, okay, but is it harder right now? It is for sure, okay. So Michael, talk to us about, how you see the market going in the next 6 to 8 months. Anything you see out there, do you see it slowing down, interest rates going up? Do you see anything happening substantial for the end of the year?
I think interest rates are gonna tick up. I think some of the, next 6 interest rates are already baked into the price, right? Because they didn't move the interest rate a bit, right? And interest rates went up 1.5%.
Say that one more time, to make sure they heard that. Interest rates did not do what?
Okay, so the federal funding rate, right, did not move, right? The federal funds interest rate, it did not move, and rates went up like 1.5%, right? So what does that tell you? The borrower's interest rate that the borrower gets is not directly tied to the federal funds interest rate. So when they raised this rate, they said, okay, we're gonna raise it the next 6 times that we meet, okay, all right? Well, so immediately, so what is the interest rate that borrowers get? What is that tied to? Bonds, right? And it's inverse, right? Okay, so bonds go down, interest rates go up, bonds go up, interest rates go down, right? And so, but that's all based off of, y'all, that's Vegas. I mean, it's just people throwing money at something that causes the bond to go up or down, right? So I think on Friday, bonds moved like 5 times, interest rates moved like 5 times. So if you called your lender on Friday morning, like, okay, what's the rate? And you called back on Friday afternoon, what's the rate? Like, whoa, what happened, right? But it moves very quickly like that. So when I say that, and I think probably our experts here would agree, but that some of the next 6 interest rate moves that the Fed will make are baked into this interest rate at 4.75 or 5%. It's already priced in, right? Okay. So when the war in Ukraine was, when it was, like, oh, is there going to be war? Is there going to be war? It's going to be war. And the stock market went down, and then war breaks out, and the stock market goes up. You're like, whoa, what just happened? Well, they had already cooked it into the pricing, right? Okay. So I would say interest rates for the borrowers, I don't see them moving a bunch. I think they'll move some, but I don't think they'll move a bunch. From an inventory standpoint, y'all, sellers are going to catch on, okay? That there is a ton of money in their house that they did not realize, okay? So just over the last month, we've made 7 offers that have been 25% over list, and we've won 1 or 2 of them, right? Okay, all right, y'all. Let's talk about what that actually means net in the pocket of a seller, okay? All right, some of these homes are $1 million, right? This is $250,000, potentially tax-free, married if they're filing joint, or individual $250,000, but over the other equity they have, $500,000 of tax-free money. Sellers are gonna start touching. Listen, I got a rental property. He's called. I called my wife. I was like, look, baby, I think we're gonna sell. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, look at the numbers, right? Why wouldn't we cash out of that, right? And so I do believe that there's gonna sellers that are gonna look at the numbers. We are resetting the market on value on a monthly basis right now, okay, all right? And I believe that there's sellers that are gonna step to the plate on that and go, hey, now's the time. And I would have that conversation with your sphere.
So, I always felt like there weren't as many homes listed this year than there was, and I saw a graph that we're actually back to pre-COVID listing numbers. But the reason it feels that way is because the amount of buyers that are pent up out there. I mean, do you feel like the listings are in line with what?
They're down a little bit. I mean, when I looked at the numbers, the actual amount of properties that, had gone under contract at Jim's point are actually up, but what that's doing is that's drying up some of the inventory that's there. Actual listed property volume, when I looked at it last, and you may have looked at it more recently, I ran it about 12% less. So that's less, right? But what's something perception, right? Okay, so for a buyer in this market, you pull up, you run their search, right? And you look, and you're like, okay, there's 7 homes that fit your criteria, right? How does the buyer feel? And it's not a small criteria, right? You've kind of already opened it up a little bit, right? But so what's something that you could do to connect your buyers with success, with how the market is moving right now? When you set up a search and you go in, you're setting up your search in status. What do you check?
Coming soon.
Active and coming soon, right? Okay, active and coming soon, and you show them that, right? Okay. And that can feel a little deflating potentially to a buyer when they see that there's 7 matches active on the market. So what's something that you could do to open their eyes to the way that this market is moving?
Active under contract.
And pending, right? So y'all just unclick active, unclick coming soon, click active under contract and pending. What I'm seeing across any search that I set up is a 400 to 500% more homes that have just gone under contract in the last month or so that fit their exact criteria. So then when they see, oh, 47 homes, just like the ones that I'm interested in, have gone under contract in the last 30 days, what expectations are you setting with them?
They'll be smooth.
Hurry.
Huh?
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
You
What
ready?
else?
Hurry
What
up.
else?
It's also
That's right,
47
Holly.
people who got under contract.
Okay, and who do they need to make that happen?
You.
Right? So connect them with the importance of, hey, how many people have gone onto a portal and they've tried to search in a certain school district? Can you?
Yes.
Okay. How many people can go in and look at finished basements on certain portals? Our portal,
Oh, ours.
yeah. No, I'm talking about portals that are available to consumers. Huh?
Anyway.
No.
Ours.
Y'all try to go in. So, okay, so
Oh, you're
fundamentally, the national portals, they're not made to help people find a home. What are they made to do?
Capture leads.
Capture leads, right? So they just want people on there searching around and then kind of going. Do you think that they have psychologists and psychiatrists and human behavioral study people and all this stuff that are building the way that their sites work? They just want them to sit there and bake until finally they go, I got to do something different. I got to find somebody to help me out of this, right? And they hit connect, contact, whatever, right? Because that's how those companies make money, right? Okay. We're able to go in and we're able to build very specific. So the homes that they find out of the portals that we send them, out of the portal searches that we send them, fit exactly the area, exactly the school district, exactly the master on main, the finished basement, unfinished, whatever those criteria are, the home that they see when they get it from us, number one, it is active when they first get it.
Yes.
And we have the ability to get them in the running on it, right? Right? So connect them with that value and the fact that, yeah, hey, there's not a lot of standing inventory on the market today, so here's how we compete and here's how we win, right? We talk about this in Lift a lot. You don't beat the market to win, right? It's like telling an athlete they're gonna beat the field. You're gonna beat the field, but what am I gonna beat the grass? Am I gonna beat dirt? No, you beat who you're competing with on the field, right? All you have to do to win in this market is beat the agents and the buyers and the sellers that you're competing with, right? And how do you give your clients the competitive advantage? Start having those conversations with them, right? The people that are motivated, there's plenty of them.
Yeah.
I promise you, right? They're gonna go like this, right? Those are the people that you're spending your time with, right? Again, you're not forgetting or ignoring the other people. You're just educating and resourcing them to get them into that ready, willing, and able conversation. And I would encourage everybody, get in touch with your sphere, let them know how much equity they have in their home.
So Michael, while you're here, I want you to, I know you're busy every day. So if I'm online today, y'all should be in here, sitting here today, I'm thinking, oh my God, my business is sort of slowed down. I'm not doing that business I want to do. Okay. Tell us a little bit about so he is piloting a program for us that we hope is going to be a game changer for the real estate industry. Guys, it's starting here. We love to start new things here. Tell a little bit about what y'all are working on right now, sort of what successes you're seeing right now through the program.
It's cool. We're seeing brand new agents that are taking their first listings within a week or two of being in the program. We're seeing people that are consistently adding opportunities into their database, and that's really exciting. With only 3 weeks in, when you have agents who've never taken a client before and they're getting listings, right? And they're meeting with people. I had one yesterday who came into the office. It was yesterday afternoon, and he had been on the phone. He's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it." I was like, "What?" He goes, I followed up again with somebody I talked to last week. Her mom is going to sell her property. They're going to take the equity from that. They have it paid off. They're buying a condo, and the daughter is going to sell her home as well, right? So it's, here's the thing: as human beings, the probability that we're gonna be accountable consistently on our own is very low. Sorry. I'd love to tell you something different.
That's why I'm overweight, guys. That's why I've had 20 pounds right here.
Well, it's an 11 billion self-help, coaching, personal training. It's $11 billion a year industry, right? We're fatter than we've ever been. We're less healthy than we've ever been. We're more medicated than we've ever been, right? So what does that tell you? When I show up somewhere and I meet with somebody for a minute and I go away on my own, am I consistently going to do the right things? There's a few that will, right? The majority is people are gonna just keep going back and paying the bill, and that's their thing. Gym memberships. This is a great example, right? How many people have a gym membership? All right, okay. How many people go to the gym that you pay that membership at more than 4 days a week?
Come on.
Oh, okay. All right, so it's
Get
about half.
Parents of not
Right?
kids.
So, so it's about half, right? Thank you for being honest, right? So it's about half, right? So what we find there is that half are paying the membership and they're going, oh yeah, I'm doing something about my health. I'm sending money to the gym, right? Okay. The other half are like showing up to the gym and getting money. Y'all, that's human nature, right? That's across anything, okay? All right. And so this is no different, right? This is accountability. We sat yesterday afternoon and talked about, hey, so far, just 3 weeks, right? What has this program meant to you, right? What has it done for you? Accountability and camaraderie are the two biggest things, right? So as you go through and you look at, it's called the triangle of success, right? Peak performance, right? Triangle peak performance, right? You got knowledge, skill, and attitude, okay? All right? And those three things, if you really think about it, knowledge, skill, and attitude, and you go, okay, hey, if I want to go be successful in something, right? Knowledge, skill, and attitude. What are some ideas around what's most important of those three, right? So let's do it this way. Why don't you call out some things that you think the most successful people in the world, the most successful people you know, what are characteristics or attributes that they embody that you believe make them successful?
Grateful.
Grateful.
Discipline.
All right. Huh?
Discipline.
Discipline.
Consistency.
Consistency. All right. So let's just start with those three.
Habits.
Okay, habits, right? Okay, so we'll go with those four. So gratitude, is that skill, knowledge, or attitude?
Attitude.
Consistency, is that knowledge, skill, or attitude? Okay. Discipline, is that knowledge, skill, or attitude? All right, I'm gonna go some skill on discipline too, right? Okay, I'll throw a little skill in there, right? And then what was the fourth one? Habits.
That's a
Huh?
skill.
I would say habits are a skill, right? But habits, we can have good habits and we can have bad habits, right? Okay, all right? And we develop more what kind of habits typically? Bad habits than we do good habits, right? Okay, all right? And so having attitude and the right skill, the right knowledge and the habits that we build, right? Okay? But so what we found is just out of the four that we quickly went through, 3 of them are attitude, 1 has knowledge, 1 has skill, right? So in success and peak performance, what's most important? Attitude, right? And that's what I was really encouraged by yesterday, Jim, to your question, is, hey, you know what, I was feeling a little down the other day. I didn't want to show up, but you know why I showed up? Because I knew he was going to be here. I knew she was going to be here, right? So I showed up, right? Are you getting skill? Are you getting knowledge? Are you getting an additional opportunity? Sure, right? What you're also doing is you're connecting with a different energy and a different attitude.
The thing that makes me weep, and it literally makes me weep, is people come in, they go, Jim, my business is down. I go, are you going to see Arthur Lee? Are you going to see Michelle? We have coaches that will coach you, and they'll even coach you and get your business up and not take a penny until you close something else. And if you're at the 150,000 level, you think, well, I want to go to 500,000. We have coaches that also, guys. So in this office, we have every tool that you need. And this may not be your thing. Now, if you don't like boot camp, you may not like this. This is the boot camp guy right here. He loves boot camp. Like, if he invited me to go with him to his gym every morning, should I go?
Yes.
Thank you, Eric.
Will you?
That's the thing.
I saw you enjoying those appetizers at the gala.
A little too much. That was the
I was
bourbon.
looking for you though.
Exactly right, Justin. Anyway, guys, here in this office, we are known to do more with fewer people because we focus on what? Productivity. That's where my focus is. I love to focus on productivity. So, guys, you have every opportunity here through our room, through Mike's program, Mike, I just called you Michael first time, through Mike's program, or through whatever, but you're gonna have to be at some point say, okay, I wanna change my game plan. Now, the one that surprised me was, tell me why Chris Manzan's in your program, because he's in the top 5% of our office.
Chris wants to grow his business. Chris felt like he had reached the ceiling, he was stuck, right? And he wanted to go to the next level of business. Y'all, that's why I started doing this. I got stuck. And I was stuck in a place that a lot of y'all would be like, oh, that's wonderful, right? But, you know, being stuck's never wonderful. Sorry, right? You know? And so we have from brand new agent to top 5 agent in the office that are in the program because they all want to lift their business from where they are today to a different place, right? And a lot of times in order to do that, all the time in order to do that, you have to do different things, right? So it's the opposite of insanity, right? So that's why Chris did it. Chris said, hey, here's my goal, here's what I'm gonna get to. And Chris had to ask himself a question and find the right answer to something that when Jim, I almost asked you when you were talking about Arthurine or Michelle or different opportunities, it's like, oh yeah, how much of my money is it gonna take? Well, you know what? If you had all the money that you wanted, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So at the end of the day, you need more opportunity, you need more. So as an example, and this is a great conversation to have mentally to think about. If you were to ask Mark Spain what the average, the price point, you know, if you were to ask him, so, oh, hey, how much was that house you sold? How much was that house you sold? How much was that house you sold? Do you think Mark Spain cares about how much the price point of a house he sells is? No. What does Mark care about? Unit. He's like, I closed 4,500 homes.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to encourage everybody who's sitting here making the mistake that I made, right? Which is I started in the industry and I started, you know, I did everything and I kept all the money, right? And I got to a point where I didn't want to be in the business anymore, right? Okay. I'm just going to encourage everybody to switch that mindset. Go abundance, go bigger pie, go how do I grow a business? Y'all, if you're in this because you're part-time and you want to make $30,000 a year or something, cool. Congratulations, right? You know, you can find out how fun that is in a competitive market when you don't do volume, right? You know, if you're in this to grow a business, right, and you are willing to pay the price to do that, there's all the resources that you need here in this market center to make that happen. Stop focusing on cost and start thinking about growth.
So just, I think, look, 1 second, okay? Tell them about what is available quickly, just through your program. Because I want someone out today to say, I want to do something different. Tell them what's available through your program.
No, I understand it, thank you very much. Where do I start? Because I'm as equally as passionate as he is as you are about growth and growing your program. So we've got coaching, and it starts on Mondays and Wednesday mornings where you come in, it is free. Anybody in this market center can come in and should come in. 8:30 on a Monday, 8:30 on a Wednesday, and I'm facilitating on those 2 days where you're having the conversations and learning how to have real estate conversations. Because if you don't know what to say, are they gonna pick up the phone? They're never gonna pick up the phone. Everyone should be script practicing 5 days a week, from Dottie, who's been here 40 years in the business, to you the very first day, right? Everyone should be script practicing. So I facilitated twice. We've got group coaching, we've got one-on-ones, and I don't get paid a dime until you guys go to closing. And here's what I hear. Well, it's 10% or it's 5%. So you know what? 10% or 5% of zero is still zero. And if you're in this office and you're struggling, you need to come see one of us. And that's all I have to say. Because the coaching for the most part is free. And nobody's gonna make you. This is the only industry where we're independent contractors and we're begging people to do their business. Just show up and run your business like a business because you have everything in this market center to be successful, right? Libby came here to the state, not a soul. Guess what? her 5th year in, and she's building a team because her business exploded last year, 700,000. Guess what? She started in that little Legion room downstairs, and all she did was do exactly what we told her to do with a big open mouth. That's it. Anybody can be a Libby. Anybody can be a whoever, because we've got the resources, right? So come see me and let's chat. If I'm not a fit, I know who is. There are tons and tons and tons of MAPS coaches that I know that you can talk to. Just open your mind to having the conversation. Have the conversation. That's it.
Guy was here a couple weeks ago from DC, was 36 years old.
36.
36, and he closed on 100 rental houses last year. Little doors. What's the difference between him and you guys?
Yeah, there's a big difference. He did it.
Well, he-
Listen, I'd love to tell you, remember, knowledge and skill are the least in the three, right? Attitude, and when we talk about attitude, it's determination, perseverance, consistency, right? Those are the things. So he did it.
Yeah,
He
and
implemented.
Michael, his team of 7 closed 172 million in volume last year. 36 years old. Guess what? He started like every last one of us did. With a little license and no real estate knowledge.
So if you take up what he did and you say it's 100 or 500 or whatever times more volume than I did or you did or whatever, right? And we look at that, is he 100 times smarter? No. Is he 100 times better looking?
No.
No.
No,
Is he 100 times work harder?
No.
No. He just consistently implements over time, right? He just implements, he just does it, right? Y'all, there's no magic. It's all hard work, but life is hard. You're just gonna have to choose a heart. It's hard to be fat, it's hard to be fit, hard to be rich, hard to be poor. Life's just hard. You just gotta pick which heart it is.
And the ones not listening are the ones that I'm worried about, but if you're out there, you think, okay, my business is not where I want to be. Now, if you're happy in your business, God bless you. God bless you. But if you're not where you want to be, guys, it's not the market. Did we sell more houses in Metro Atlanta in 2007, 8, 9, and 10, or 2017, 18, 19, and 20?
18, 19, 19.
Wrong. Same amount. Because we sold the ones in 7, 9, 10 to who? Investors. No, guys, same amount. Look at it. Look me up. We sold the same amount of houses in 7, 8, 9, 10 as we did. And now, people that decided to keep listing properties and weren't selling, they didn't sell that much. But the ones said, oh, I'm going to go sell to an investor. That's the ones that did well, guys. Gary Keller said, there are no bad markets, there's just bad agents.
Yes.
Is that true? Guys, if you're stuck today and think, oh, that market's awful, oh my God, I'm gonna die if this market's so bad. Well, guys, that's just not true. You wanna believe it? God bless you. God bless you. Do you believe that? And you go and just go do something else, guys. But if you wanna grow, we have the tools here. And come see one of us. Michael took time out of his day to come spend his time with us. Michael, thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michelle, for letting us go around you.
Oh, that was fun.
It was fun. Okay, next. Lessons
Okay,
learned.
lesson
Come
learned.
on, Michelle.
All right. Pay attention. Remember we said contract jeopardy? Here's my first question. Anyway, how many people know what a wrap mortgage is?
A wrap mortgage?
Wrap mortgage.
Not RAP, does
Not
not
like,
RAP.
not like wrap around
Wraparound.
mortgage. Wrap mortgage. Anybody heard of it?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody want us to define it or give me a stab in the dark? How about that?
I learned this in real estate.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Okay.
It's basically you already got a loan and then you're going to basically borrow more money to wrap around what you already have to be able to give you more leverage, something like that?
Well, not quite.
Okay.
I mean, if you've already got a loan and you get a second loan, that's a second mortgage or a HELOC or a equity line, whatever you want to call it. A wrap mortgage is what you'll hear in markets where the interest rates rise more because sellers want to be creative in the ways to sell their homes. So what happens is a seller has a first mortgage, correct? Because you're wrapping something around it. Are you with me so far? So they're saying we'll do owner financing. Here's where I want you to be cautious is on a first mortgage. How many of you all have a first mortgage? Okay, and if you look at the fine print on page 92 of the 110 pages you sign, it has, what does it have in there?
A due on sale clause.
Sale clause, and define due on sale.
If you transfer title to another legal entity or person, natural or legal, you have to pay off the mortgage.
Correct.
Well, they can call it due, right?
They could call it due. Now, does it happen all the time that they know about it? Not necessarily. Here's why I want, and this came up this week, here's why I want you to be careful, is if you've got a buyer and they approach you, let's say this listing agent approaches you and said, we'll do a wrap mortgage, make it where they have to come up with less. Who is in danger of not really owning that property?
The buyer.
The buyer. Why? Because they probably are not going to change title on it because that could trigger the due on sale clause. And what happens is if you've done this wrap mortgage or your client did, who's normally paying the first mortgage to make sure it gets paid? The seller. What you hope. That's the key. What happens if the seller quits paying it but keeps taking you as a buyer's money?
It gets foreclosed.
Are you going to know it's going to be foreclosed?
No.
No, because the notice goes to whom?
The seller.
The seller. It is, we saw some just awful things in 2008, 9, 10, 11, and then came out of it in 12. So I say this, but I was surprised it was showing its head this early in the game. So just be aware, and if you have a question, who should you ask?
You guys.
Well, you can ask me, but if I go to the lender, I wouldn't go to the lender that's got the mortgage necessarily, but go to Reed or Jeff or anybody like that. And how can you know if the seller has a first mortgage?
They want raw title on the title.
Well, you could have somebody run title, but let's just say you just want to get an idea because you're
The tax record?
It's in Reedmont.
well,
But if there's no deed, wouldn't be recorded.
the easiest way, go to realist.
Yeah.
And now-
Because you can see all the loans.
Well, that's right, but if you go into realist, into the tax, it'll show when that property was bought and who held that mortgage. Now, if they borrowed $500,000 and it's 2 years later, did they probably pay that off by then? Probably not. So it at least gives you an idea. Any questions on this?
Why would anybody do a wrap mortgage in today's market?
You know, the reason that I saw them do wrap mortgages in 2008, 9, 10, a lot, is because the buyer wasn't qualified. That was why. So the seller said, I'll take the risk, and they did it, but the buyer didn't really own the property, and I did see some that got foreclosed on. And then the buyer was out all that money. And then the other reason is when the rates get higher.
So there's 2.8s out there right now compared to 4.7s.
Right, but keep in mind, I've been in this so long, when I started, it was like 14 and a half. So yeah, I've seen.
No, but I'm saying I can see why people would now. There's a 2% gap.
Oh, right, exactly. So just be aware. And then go ask your favorite lenders that happen to be in this office, Silverton and Supreme, and they'll help you understand it.
I wonder if we're gonna start seeing some assumptions pop back up.
Mike.
Well, I mean, you know, you don't have many assumable loans. Are you saying where
Every
the
FHA and every VA.
FHA and VA are assumable.
the VA is assumable,
By a
but
qualified
by a qualified veteran. I didn't think the FHA were assumable anymore. Are they? Okay, well then I'm wrong there. So, okay, that's a possibility.
Could a wrap mortgage be considered mortgage fraud?
What's the question?
Could a wrap mortgage, Jeff, and Reed be considered mortgage fraud?
I don't know if it'd be mortgage fraud. I mean, it would be,
Not
it
for the
really,
buyer.
I mean, the lender, the reality is 9 times out of 10, the lender who holds the first mortgage is not gonna know that anything happened as long as they're getting their payments every month.
Right.
But the risk for really both parties is still there, because if the lender got a whiff of it and they called it due, then somebody's gonna be scrambling at that point.
Well, they're not paying taxes.
Yeah.
So right, or if they're not paying taxes. So I bought a foreclosure in 2012, and the lady that had, it was a wraparound mortgage, and the seller had stopped making payments to his mortgage.
Yeah.
And foreclosed on this really nice, I mean, I've heard about her from the neighbors, she's a really nice lady. And the sheriff showed up and.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Anything else, Kimberly? Thank you also for your attention, for coming today, guys, and enjoy your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ya no tengo estudios para mirarlo. ¿Tú vas a estar acá?
Sí, voy a estar acá.
No voy a mirarlo, no.
When
Pues,
fast track.
Sí.